Man, we have been waiting for this night ever since the pandemic hit, and we didn't know how it would turn out, but we had already decided that we would move heaven and earth to find a way to spend this time with you because of what it represents. Tonight represents our faith in God, who has been so faithful to us throughout the years in our ministry. Tonight represents our hope, the hope that we have because of friends and neighbors like you who share our mission and our vision to see lives transformed. And ultimately, tonight represents love, the love that we share one with another, and the love that we have for our homeless friends and neighbors to see their lives transformed. These values represent more than just platitudes for human interaction. These values literally become the building blocks of the community where we will break the cycle of situational homelessness here in our city. And so tonight, you will be inspired, you will be motivated, and with your motivation, we will build this community where hundreds of lives will be transformed every year and thousands of lives will be transformed over the next 10 years. For those of you who've been to college and had the privilege of living on a college campus, imagine just for a moment the impact that we could have together as we incubate our homeless friends and neighbors in a similar setting at the Harvest Center of Charlotte. That's why we have plans to build a brand new cafeteria that seats 300 people. We're going to build preschool and after-school facilities for children to help them with their academic enrichment. We're going to build a workforce hub and invite business partners on our campus to help train and hire our participants. And yes, we're going to build brand new high-quality residential suites where our participants will live as they go through the Charlotte Passport program. But that's all for the future. What tonight is about is us running the best day-to-day operations to see more lives transformed this year and next. And that's why we've invited you here tonight. So lean in, say a prayer, and celebrate with us this presentation of our ministry.
Cases little or no internet access for
How
students.
Charlotte's lack of affordable
North
housing.
Carolina's eviction.
A million people have submitted applications.
We're living in unusual times, times when uncertainty, hardship, and hopelessness seem to be everywhere. Times when we're worried about children falling behind. So many are becoming unemployed. Many are asking themselves, will I be able to keep a roof over my family's head? Am I going to survive this pandemic physically, mentally, financially? In times of uncertainty, we're all looking for guidance. In the Bible, there's a story of a time when Jerusalem, the centerpiece city of Israel, was in shambles, and the citizens were at a loss as to how to rebuild. God sent his prophet and leader, Nehemiah, to assess the situation. Nehemiah recognized the need not only for building, but also for building a strong community of faith to do the work. Nehemiah calls the people together and lays out the need before them, and they answer, "Let us rise up and build." So they strengthened their hands for the good work. Today, we invite you to be part of the good work, building community together. We're strengthening our hands for the good work to build many more transformed lives, lives like Destinee's.
My name is Destiny Redmond. I have 3 boys, Jaden, who is 6, and I have a set of twins who are 4, Courtney and Corey. My life with the boys is hectic. It's people ask how you do it. It's not, I have no idea. My answer is I wing it. It can get trying because it's 3 of them, 1 of me. Like before, the Harvest Center was confusing. It was hectic. It was lonely. Still had work life, but that was the only outlet. And besides children, things got toxic in the situation. So it was more as I just moved here, so I didn't have anyone as far as resources. When I first got here to the Harvest Center, the experience was scary. I was very introverted, very scared, but it was understandably a growth process. The Harvest Center gave me a safe place, somewhere to let out my other worries about not having nowhere to go. They gave me a safe place. They gave me security as far as food for my, family. I did 2 different classes as far as, future home ownership and how do you understand a budget? What do you do with the budget? What is it actually supposed to mean? Because when you grow up, everybody tells you to save money. So it actually taught me strict financial boundaries that I was able to phenomenally save here through those. And I connected with people through those classes. Like the 101s, I actually fall through with those. And mortgage, I in steps to own my own home now. They really helped me. It's someone that can bring it to you, because again, I'm coming to Charlotte, I don't know who I can talk about a budget, besides your family members or so, but everybody has their different outlooks on it. So to hear a professional that break it down structurally and to have a nonprofit or another place to bring that option to you is great, that they care about you after you leave. The Harvest Center gave me the ability and the confidence to know that I can go back to school. So I'm currently studying surgical technology. Definitely thanks to the Harvest Center. I didn't think that during this process, and even it's getting scary having to leave. Even after I left, you think of these people are just being nice to you temporarily. As soon as you get out of their face, they're gonna be done with you. But it wasn't that at all. It was more or less as if I was still here. They helped me more than I ever would have imagined as far as my new house, making sure I was okay and make sure those seeds they had planted in me while I was still here were still blossoming, and I was not on my own. Even though I was not here, I was not on my own. And I really appreciate that, because these are people in a place that I'll forever be, and this is home to me now. Like, as in Charlotte, the Harvest Center, this is home, and I didn't have that a year ago.
Destinee's story is just one of the many that God has empowered the Harvest Center to walk alongside and be transformed. David is another. David really doesn't fit the stereotypical mold for homelessness, but he was homeless nonetheless.
Well, my name is David, and I'm a resident here at the Harvest Center. At the end of this month, I will be moving to a new apartment because I am able to, because of my current employment situation. I'm doing very well. I came here as a homeless person as a result of mainly COVID-19. I moved here for a good job, and on March 17th, they called and said, "We're shutting things down. We're not going to hire you." I had no place to go. I was out on the streets. I found the Harvest Center. I applied. I had an interview with them, and they accepted me into the program, and I had no idea. I thought I was going to be in a bunk beds with 15, 20 other people. Now, I have my own bedroom. I have a kitchen. I have a bathroom, a hot shower. I've got food in my refrigerator. I had no idea of what I had just gotten myself into, and it's just amazing. To think of a homeless shelter with 300 guys in bunk beds versus what I have, this is first class, and I feel very blessed that I was able to become a resident of the Harvest Center. One of the things that I've learned here is that as a community, we all have the same thing, that we're all in a place where we need not a handout, but a hand up. And so everybody here has a different story. You have people that were living in a shelter, people that were unwelcome, crashing on somebody's couch, or just to stay off the streets and so forth. And so you get to meet people and hear their stories and so forth, and you have a kindred spirit, and you begin to bond, and you begin to share your hopes and your dreams. And during this program, they kind of built a fire under me to do even better, to show my appreciation by being successful. And Titus tells me often, I'm very proud of you. And that makes me feel humbled, because he saw me when I had no hope. He saw me when I was distraught, when I had nothing to smile about, nothing to look forward to. And he built me up and said, use your education, use your experience, use, the qualities that have been instilled in you, and work hard. And I truly believe that he inspired me to be the best person that I can be. And for 6 months now, I've been running on adrenaline and caffeine, and I'm like the Energizer Bunny. You know, I just never stop pounding that drum, and I'm never tired because of the determination. And they give it to me because, you know, when you do something well and you achieve a level, now it's time to go to that next level, and that's where I'm at now. For the first time in many years, I can honestly say that I'm happy.
My name is Titus and I'm a transformation specialist here at the Harvest Center of Charlotte. So in 2017, I started volunteering at the Harvest Center of Charlotte and teaching the Celebrate Recovery classes. And I mean, and it was amazing. It was a diverse room full of people that were male and female, white, black, but they all had a common thread. Yes, they were homeless. Yes, they were in need of a program, but they had been broken. They had been given up on. And all of them were in this classroom, yes, talking about recovery, but also talking about how they wanted something in their life. And not just another pair of keys, but something that was gonna change their mindset. And they would always ask, can it get better? Can it get better? Can it really get better? I know I can get the apartment or the house, but can it get better? And for me, being someone that lost my ability to walk because of decisions that I made, selling drugs, being addicted to drugs, having issues with not knowing who my biological father was, having issues of losing people, you know, and the devastation and trauma from that. I felt like I was an awesome candidate to be able to sit there and tell them, you can make it. If I'm not giving up, if I'm willing to roll in this office and tell you that you can make it, that you can make it. So for me, starting in 2017 doing that, turned into, by 2018, I got hired on to be at the Harvest Center to be a transformation specialist. And for me, that was a whole nother level, because now it was not a classroom. It was me being able to have that one-on-one with those participants and hear the stuff that they didn't want to share in front of everybody. And then it gave me an opportunity to be transparent as well and share the things that I'd been through that I didn't want to say in front of everybody. But the common thread that I would always see once we got through crying or they would cry, then I had the awesome opportunity to tell them how that it was a community of people that saw that if I was just willing to make a change, how they would come alongside me as well and to transform my life. How in the world could I be seeking to sit in front of somebody and try to transform them if I'm not transformed? But the thing that I told them that was the key to my transformation was my relationship with Jesus Christ. You know, that for me was the backbone to everything. Jesus from Nazareth. I would always love to tell them that Jesus was from, basically Nazareth was like a project. You know, so he wasn't living in Beverly Hills. He wasn't living in Ballantyne. He was living in a low state. He had gotten written off, but yet he showed love to people and he built community. And it's through that community that I found myself. And then that's why I turn around and I give that same community and love back to them. Is it hard? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Because it's sitting there being able to be with them every day, one by one, whether they're in a class or dealing with some participation from somebody that comes in to help. No matter what it is, as long as that thread of Jesus Christ runs through it, that's the thing that bonds us together. That's the thing that truly transforms the life. And that's why I'm so excited to be here at the Harvest Center walking alongside these people.
Destiny, David, Titus, and so many others have strengthened their hands for the good work, building community together. But a transformed life is even more than just individual lives being transformed.
Our homeless children face so many barriers, and with them transitioning and moving from place to place or living in hotels or in cars, it makes it very difficult for them to concentrate on school. With the partnership with the Harvest Center, we are so very grateful because they have provided a holistic approach to assisting our families. The Harvest Center is giving our families a stable place to stay with having that stability to know they're going to sleep at the same place every night. That takes the barrier off of the table, and so they're able to progress towards their goals. Thank you so much to the Harvest Center. You guys have come in and stepped stepped up so much for our CMS families. We hear nothing but great news, great results. And so we just want to thank you so much, so much from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you are doing with our kids and just the partnership and your willingness to be there and to really care genuinely for our families. So thank you to the Harvest Center.
I'm Roger Sellers. I am the pastor of Mulberry Presbyterian Church and Christ Presbyterian Church. How Ashley got sent to us, I honestly don't know. It may have been through our clothing closet ministry and some of the ladies that sort of adopted her there. All I know is Ashley was like a family friend, not just a visitor, later a member of the church. As a church, as a colleague as well, I have to say well done to Colin and to the Harvest Center and to all of your staff and volunteers. You may not, because you're in the everyday business of it, you may not see the fact that the seeds you've sown are growing, but they are. Those of us looking in, we see the green that's growing where once there was desolation. You've done very well. Keep up the good work. And it is indeed good work. We need your help. The entire west side of Charlotte needs your help. And together, we'll see God do great things. We've just gotten started.
I'm Vi Lyles, and as the mayor of Charlotte, I have seen many acts of kindness and community building that are essential to creating a caring and responsible city for all. And at the center of that kindness is the Harvest Center of Charlotte. The Harvest Center of Charlotte is helping provide responsible workers that companies need to locate to our city. The Harvest Center of Charlotte is a wonderful partner, and we are both building community together.
My name is Alan Young. I am one of the owners of Two Guys in the Kitchen. I knew Princess from my church. We worship together. And it just so happened to be that I was coming to the Harvest Center to visit. And when I showed up there were new participants who were coming in. And I looked over and I saw Princess and her husband. When I saw Princess, all I could do is just reach out and give her the biggest hug. It didn't matter to me why she was at the Harvest Center. I was just glad that she was at the Harvest Center. And I looked at her and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Do you need a job?" It just so happened to be that we were looking for a supervisor position for one of our schools. And she looked at me and she said, "Yes, I do." Princess has probably been the biggest asset to our team. A part of that has been being with the Harvest Center. This group of people together is doing something so dynamic in this city. And we are excited that we get to be a part of it, but we're also benefiting from the work.
Yes, the Harvest Center has strengthened their hands for the good work, but there's building to be done.
I would first like to thank you for joining us for this virtual presentation of our ministry and for allowing us to come into your home and place of business. Though I'd rather see you face to face, I am thankful to God and for those working behind the scenes to make this virtual presentation of our ministry a reality. 2020 has given all of us reasons to be concerned for ourselves and the well-being of our own families. And I pray that where you may be facing challenges, you will find the Lord God Himself to be a very present help in your time of need. This year has been especially challenging for our friends and neighbors who are living on the edges of homelessness, unemployment, and poverty, which is why I find great consolation in the words of Jesus Christ Himself when He said that we are to love God with our full heart, our whole mind, our whole soul, and our whole strength, and that we are to love our neighbors as ourselves. I believe there could be no greater call to action than these. And I believe there is no greater work than to offer a hand up to our neighbors in need here at the Harvest Center of Charlotte, which is why we have welcomed dozens of individuals and families into our transitional housing ministry, the Charlotte Passport Program, since March of this year. By the end of this year, we will transition more than 100 individuals and families with children to move from dependency to empowerment and self-sufficiency. But 100 is a drop in the bucket for the more than 4,000 Charlotteans who are living with the threat of homelessness and housing insecurity in our city. Their only hope is that they can find the support and resources they need to move their lives to a better and more productive future. And with this hope, we have a vision to see 2,000 lives transformed in our city to permanent affordable housing, sustainable work, and a deeper connection to a community of faith. There are more people living in tents, shelters, and even in their cars than ever before. And we believe this is a big problem for our city. But we have an answer at the Harvest Center of Charlotte to help more families like Destiny and her boys, or individuals like David, to move forward to more fulfilling and productive lives. We all face a very uncertain future, but through faith in God and the love and support of neighbors like you, we believe we can build a community together where our homeless friends and neighbors feel valued and loved and are empowered to transform their lives. I believe that now is the time, and the Harvest Center is the place to invest. And we are ready to transform more lives than ever before. And I pray that you are ready to help us build community together. On behalf of our board of directors and our advisors, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who made this event possible. And I'd like to thank you for spending this time with us to learn more about our ministry. God bless.
I'm Trey Hopper, and I'm a volunteer and donor for the Harvest Center. I was probably 17 or 18 when I first started working with the Harvest Center. My first memory of the Harvest Center was working in the kitchen with Miss Isabella. I like the Harvest Center because they not only serve food to the homeless, but they also help transform people's lives. They take people that are down on their luck or have had something that's caused them serious pain, and they transform them. They transform them by the power of the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, and everything that He can do for you. They transform them by giving them hope. I feel a part of this community that the Harvest Center is building to help transform people's lives. The Luminosity Society is a special program where you make a commitment to give a certain amount each year. This year I decided to join that Luminosity Society. I ask that you give a donation as well. Please text the word HARVEST to 56512 or go to theharvestcenter.org to make a donation.
What's up, everyone? This is Nate Sally, the Audible Coach, and I just wanted to take the time to say thank you, and thank you again for supporting the Harvest Center of Charlotte.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for supporting the Harvest Center.